Question 234.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Yes, Daisy, yes.
If you had the power of Wolverine, which deadly things would you most like to try?
Still feel pain though.
What? Yes, you would still feel pain.
Yes, of course. But you know you're going to survive it.
It just gets him more angry. He's got berserker rage.
Right.
Can we sit next to a nuclear bomb while it goes off
Yeah.
and see what that feels like?
Yes.
Travel into a black hole.
You could.
His power isn't being able to get out of a black
No.
hole.
That's-
Right.
it's
I
just
don't know dick about comics, so whatever.
he has almost infinite healing. So you could experience a black hole in theory.
In theory. But
You might still be
eventually
spaghetti
there is death.
afterwards.
There is death for him eventually.
Is
Like,
there?
cutting off
I haven't
his
got
head,
that.
removing his head is supposed to be his death.
He is capable of dying. He can just survive a lot more than most people.
Fair enough.
Yes, yes. And removing his head is I believe, the ultimate death for him.
How do you remove his head if his skeleton's adamantium?
Exactly.
See,
I
that
can answer this.
depends on the version of him, though, because some versions he's like regrown himself from a fingertip or something.
Magneto stripped him of his adamantium. At one point, he was just bones. He was just no adamantium, and then he had it.
Okay, a controversial question.
The question has become, what is Wolverine's powers?
I was gonna say, controversial question. Does Wolverine have bone claws originally?
Yes.
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 That depends.
Yes, he did. I know. The whole origin story. He always had bone claws.
I think if you go back to his original story, he was actually a Wolverine.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're just biased because you're a honey badger.
Fucking honey badger. That's my African cousins.
Well, in the comics as well, he is only like 5'4" or something. He is not tall. He's a midget. He's not super strong. The reason that makes him so dangerous is the fact that his claws can cut through anything that isn't adamantium.
Yes.
That's what makes him so dangerous. I mean, he can.
Well, and you can
literally,
shoot
walk
him
up
over
to-
and over again, and he doesn't die. He just keeps coming.
You can kill him. You can drown him.
I think he comes back to life.
No, he doesn't. Hulk in the comic tore him in half because the vertebrae isn't fused by adamantium. If it was, he wouldn't be able to move.
Mm-hmm.
No, entirely.
Yeah.
Magneto actually didn't just rip the metal off of him in the books. It killed him. It ripped him apart, ripped his skeleton out of his body.
Right. I have
And
that.
he
comic.
just. I'm a bit of a nerd. Sorry when it comes to this.
Right, none of this
So,
answers. Okay.
question.
Right, let's get back to the point here. What would you do?
Is there a point?
Yes, if you could heal, if you had Wolverine's power of healing, what crazy stuff, what deadly things would you like to try? So far, we've got Nerdy would like to throw himself into the sun.
I think I might start by just going to Australia and just eating some of the venomous snakes as one would eat spaghetti.
I was gonna say jumping off like the tallest building and see. I'd survive that. I know I'd survive it, but
That would hurt like a motherfucker, though.
Yes.
flight. I want to experience the flight.
Okay.
You can get a
I
parachute.
might just go out in
Yeah,
public
right?
more.
You don't really have to hit the ground to enjoy that. You know, it's not the fall
Yeah.
that kills, it's the sudden stop at the end.
Right.
Exactly.
No one ever dies from the fall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See, I mean, why would you go from a building rather than a plane?
Whatever works. I thought about building at the moment, but yeah, plane would be a lot better.
What about going into a plane and just just crashing a plane?
Yes, that sounds
Okay.
fun.
Just getting like
Into anything in particular?
Jesus.
getting one of no, just crashing it.
Apparently, I should have used Deadpool.
Getting one of those little planes that you learn to fly in. You know, the ones that don't have a huge amount of mass. Just flying it into a mountain or something, just to see, you know, what happens from the inside.
Mm-hmm. It's all which ways do you want to die?
Could be
Well,
the kind of Indiana Jones approach to flying a plane.
Okay. Yeah, smugglers. Oh, stop. Just get in there and just hit the buttons.
So no one fancies going and having a pot shot at Kim Jong Un.
Nah.
No,
None of us are that nice.
none of the.
See, I'm gonna survive stuff like that. I'm gonna survive gunshots. I'm gonna survive a bullet to the head and stuff. So you could I might do, but as far as like inflicting pain on myself and enjoying it, yeah, I'd have to go with flight.
You could go and do something with Kim Jong Un, but the problem if you do that is, yes, you've decapitated the snake, as it were, but then you're in a complicated political situation that you are ill-equipped for.
Yes, well, we have covered this one before, actually. The issue, he is an easy person to kill. He is a relatively easy person to kill.
You can't claw your way to democracy.
Well, I think you probably could. You just keep killing until they agree.
The other voters, so that you're the only one left.
No, I think the people would be happier eventually. To stop throwing themselves on your claws.
Oh dear. All right, I'll try to. Are there other people with Wolverine's powers in this scenario, or is it just me?
Just you. Well,
Oh.
you 5.
Oh, that's 5. I'll start a sword fighting league.
Sword fighting league.
Yeah, with authentic historical swords.
So you can stab each other a lot. You want
Yes.
you want the immortality field from Rick and Morty, really?
Yeah.
Deadpool. Sounds like Deadpool.
Want to get a bit of stabbing going on with them
Yeah, there was
swords.
a question I was mentioning in the chat. Is Deadpool more fun than Wolverine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Deadpool.
See, they're both part of the
Deadpool in
Connect
his-
project, and Deadpool has more DNA from other mutants, as where Wolverine is just his own DNA. So that's the difference.
You mean personality-wise?
No. They're part of the project called Weapon X. They're both part of the same scientific experiment, and they didn't change Wolverine's DNA, but they changed Deadpool's DNA, and that's why he can do all this stuff.
I prefer, personality-wise, I prefer Wolverine to Deadpool.
Why?
Yeah. Personality. Yeah.
I
Well,
feel
like,
like Deadpool, I think, would be overwhelming, and Wolverine, you can have a drink with him, and then he'll leave you alone.
Or stab you if he gets mildly pissed off.
Right.
Are you on about the movie Deadpool though? Are you on about the Origins Deadpool? Because that's not the Deadpool in the comics and the more modern films.
No, I'm not on about that one. That's awful.
You don't get Badger into a fucking conversation
Right.
about what's canon and what's not canon.
Okay.
See, look, he's on.
Come on, let's go.
Next question. Last question. Given that no one knows how to answer that question.
I did. I said I would stand in front of a nuclear bomb.
You did, you're right. My apologies.
Crash a plane into a mountain and then start a sword fighting league.
I'd perfectly slice a cheese sandwich with a single blade.